A gravel road leads to the intergenerational Brist family farm near Marion. It's a warm, sunny day in early June when we arrive to meet with Madison, Emma, Naomi, Garrett, and their mom, Tess. The Brist children are the 5th generation to live on Lone Lake Farm. Members of 4-H, FFA, or both, the kids introduce us to the farm's livestock: sheep, goats, deer, and a dairy cow and calf pair that they are raising to show at the Northwest Montana Fair in August. I'm Taylor, and with fellow reporter Hillary, we got to follow the Brist's progress raising their animals over the summer, watch as they show them at the fair, and hear from them right after the animals were sold at market. They told us what participating in these projects means to them, the sometimes frustrating but ultimately triumphant challenge of raising an animal. Proudly wearing buckles from past wins, it's clear that the Brist kids are no stranger to the world of livestock projects and showmanship competitions.
My name is Madison Brist, and I am showing Bagel. He is a club calf cross, and I am duly enrolled in 4-H and FFA.
How many years have you been showing?
Since I was 7? I am 17, okay. So 10 years I've been showing animals.
Which school do you go to again?
I go to Flathead High School.
Flathead High School.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is going to be the struggle. He is not my showmanship calf, if you can tell. My name is Emma Brist, and I'm 15 years old, and this is Muffin. He's a short-horn Red Angus cross. I'm duly enrolled in 4-H and FFA, but I will be showing him through FFA.
My name is Garrett Brist. I'm 11 years old, and this is my calf, Biscuit. He is a short-horn Red Angus cross, and I am in 4-H.
The family has been raising livestock for years, and while the routine may get easier, there's a lot of work to be done, and time to put in to raise market and breeding livestock and time to show at the fair. They also raise backup animals alongside the livestock they are planning to show in case of injury, illness, or an animal that doesn't make weight by fair week. Tess said the children are charged with the responsibilities of caring for the animals and working with them so they are ready for the showing, while she and their father, Rob, play a supporting role.
So they put in the like who they bought the animal from, and the value of the animal goes in. So then you can then track down here, like here's what I spent on feed and the month, like what did I feed and how did I feed, and like the steers would all be filled because they start their project in October, or even like her last year she started in August, so theirs starts farther back. But with lambs, you don't start your feed until later. And so she's got what she spent per month on feed. And then down here would be you're starting your weight tracking. And then what did I have my expenses on and how much did it cost? And then here's your health, like what you wormed, if your animal was sick, what did you spend on doctoring your animal and things that way. So your health chart goes in there and your expenses on that.
During the school year, the Brist children are awake by 5:30 a.m. and usually finish tending to the livestock, meaning feeding, milking, and more by 7 a.m. They repeat the same routine at 7 p.m. They understand that raising livestock comes with sacrifices, such as foregoing vacations or slumber parties, because taking care of a living thing is not something they can just skip. The Brist said they help each other out by covering each other's chores when needed.
So do all of you usually do the farm chores? Or
Yes. Yeah. The whole family works on it, yeah.
So during school, what was it like? You just do everything before school and after school?
5:30, get up in the morning, come down, they help milk goats, take care of their sheep, take care of the steers.
Get done. You're halfway. Get done by 7, and then at night we probably start our chores around 7, I would say.
This year was particularly busy as the Brists bred sheep and goats to save on cost. The lambing season brought 8 big lambs onto the farm, about 12 to 14 pounds each, and spring break was spent helping nanny goats deliver 19 kids. Once school let out for summer break, the siblings ramped up the time spent handling the goats, sheep, and the steer, which gets the livestock used to being touched and placed in stances for the show ring. Naomi demonstrates how they would wash and dry a lamb.
Hi, my name is Naomi Brist, and this is Wesley. We are going to wash his legs. So I sheared him about a week ago, but now we're going to wash his legs and then put some leg covers on him to keep his legs clean.
Things don't always go perfectly, but these kinds of chores help create a bond and to understand each animal's unique personality and temperament. The children brought the steers together to practice showing the animals. It's the first time the 4 children have worked with the steers at once. Usually they work with the animals alone. It was impressive to see how they handle the large steers, pulling on their show halters, pausing and knowing when to circle them out and back into the line. The cattle are between 1,200 and 1,400 pounds. The kids use show sticks to direct them, which are somewhat pointy with a hook at the end. It helps get their legs in the correct position.
It's if they they move out of line too much, you gotta move them in and get in at a different angle so that you're more set with all the animals.
They also use the show sticks to rhythmically scratch the brisket, which helps keep them calm, according to Garrett. As the children guide the steers in line and then around, falling back to form a row, their mother watches on, acting as the judge. When it comes to selecting market livestock to show, the Brist siblings say they look for structure and potential to put on weight. When choosing livestock to breed, the sisters said they look at whether the animal has the temperament to be a good mother while also looking at anatomy and structure. Sometimes an animal is not found suited to breeding until after giving birth. One heifer gave birth to a 90-pound calf, and friends of the family had to be called to assist in pulling the calf out of the birth canal. The sisters said on average the calf should be around 60 to 70 pounds, and they decided not to breed the cow again. And some babies don't survive despite their best efforts. The sisters shared a time when a nanny goat gave birth to triplets, and one of the kids had to be brought indoors to bottle feed when they saw it wasn't nursing. But sadly, it did not survive the night.
This is Chamomile. She is my 5-year-old milking goat that I've taken to fair for about 5 years now. And she and I are best buds. We always go in the show ring together, and we've won showmanship together a few times, which is really sweet.
That's cool. What do you like about working with goats?
I don't know. I think they each have their own personalities, and it's really funny because they're really snobby, a lot snobbier than one with the goats are. And Cammie's really bossy. She's the herd queen, so I just like working with her because she just thinks it's funny to try and boss everyone around, whether you're a human or a goat.
Garrett, who shows Hershey, said the more you work with one animal, the easier it gets, unless they're bratty, which he doesn't care for.
I just like their personality. Most of the time, some have good personalities, so it's easier to work with them. Or if they have a bratty personality, I don't really like working with them.
But the goats calm down a bit once they are settled in the milking stands. When we met with the Brist family, Nutmeg was set to be shown for the 3rd time at the fair. Some of the goats have been with the family long enough to be retired from the show ring.
This is Nutmeg. Nutmeg. Yeah. So this is her first year having babies. So she's kind of a new mom. Alright.
New mom. Congratulations.
She had triplets her first year.
In the goat barn, which was historically the family's sheep barn, the siblings said that no animal is the same. They all have different personalities, just like people.
No, and I've always thought of animals like people. You look at, if you have a line of just sheep, each of them has a different personality. They're all not just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. So you'd be like, that one's really nice. That one's really bossy. That one's really funny. That one doesn't have a brain. And you could even say that about the cows. Every animal has a personality. You just have to get to learn to know them. And being able to take care of them and feed them every day, you just learn what your animal is like and learn their traits. And it's kind of, it's just really sweet to get to know them as an individual too.
They agreed that you learn their personalities through the daily tasks of milking or feeding. After the demonstration, Madison, Naomi, and Emma sat in a circle on the milking stands. They reflected on the bond with their animals, the joy that it brings them, and the life lessons they've learned through the 4-H and FFA livestock projects. Emma said raising farm animals has taught her patience, dedication, and perseverance.
Yeah, perseverance and pushing through when you know, you're having a tough day, but the animals need fed, so you kind of have to go and feed them. And
I didn't even think about that.
And even if you have a friend's party, but you have to be home to feed the animals, you kind of have to give up just to be with the animals. But then the animals are a privilege in themselves because some people don't get the opportunity to raise animals.
Rob's great-grandfather homesteaded the farm. While he grew up showing livestock as a 4-H'er and FFA member, Tess said she married into the farm life. Following the death of Rob's father, Glenn Brist, last year, Tess said it's more emotional than ever to think about the kids carrying on the family legacy. After all, Lone Lake Farm started with raising sheep. Speaking on the phone with Glenn's sister, Julia Brist, they discussed what it means to see the children carry on the family tradition. Julia, a question for you. So, you've grown up on this farm. How does it feel to have another generation hang around and continue the tradition?
How do I feel about it?
The kids continuing on.
Yeah, how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about it?
Yeah?
Oh, it's wonderful. Yeah, terrific. Yeah.
Glenn, sorry, I wouldn't get emotional because I miss him, but he loved watching the kids here.
Yes.
And every time I had another kid, he was so excited and so thrilled because then it's another little one. And last summer, watching 3 generations farm next to each other was, you know, we never knew that was our last year that would happen, but he loved it. He loved watching the kids, and the pride that Glenn had was just amazing, you know, for the kids. But he loved going and watching all the kids at the fair. Glenn was such a huge supporter of 4-H and FFA in the aspect of these kids are our future farmers, and teaching, the well of knowledge that he had, you know, which is pretty cool to be able to pass on to his grandkids. Yeah. And
they just picked it up like we picked up. I mean, like Glenn picked it up from Dad. Just being with him.
Yeah.
Working together.
Working together and learning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's not one big lesson. It's lots of many little ones.
Yeah. All that happens in a day on the farm.
Emma said it's a privilege that not everyone has, noting the revelation that came to her in kindergarten when she thought everyone lived on a farm. It has deepened her appreciation of all animals, even wildlife.
Even though the animal might be kind of rude or kind of bossy, you still have that deep affection for the animal. And I just find that a good life lesson, even though a person on the surface might seem a little rude. I don't know why I'm tearing up, guys.
I get it. The group acknowledged the soft spot and tenderness that a bond with an animal can bring. When we return to the Brist family, they'll be in the throes of Fair Week. With 4 trailers of animals to take to the Trade Center at the Flathead County Fairgrounds, there's not a moment to spare for the busy Brist sisters and their youngest brother, Garrett. And of course, not for Mom or Dad either. Watch part 2 of our journey to see how the Brists and their animals did during the competition.
This is Jordan Van of Van Law Firm. At Van Law, we understand how life can change in an instant. Whether you've been affected by a fire, an accident, or any other disaster, you don't have to go through it alone. We're here to help victims rebuild and recover, from personal injuries to property damage and financial struggles. Your rights matter, and we're ready to fight for the compensation you deserve. If you've been injured or affected, we'll work tirelessly to address your medical bills, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Our experienced office will guide you every step of the way. Reach out to Van Law today for a free consultation. Call us now at 406-VAN-LAW. That is 406-826-6529. Or you can find us online at vanlawfirm.com. Van Law. When it feels like everything is lost, we'll help you find your way forward.